Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
The legendary
Angie Martinez.
Angie Ma.
I love you guys. Good morning. Hello, Angie.
I love when Angie comes because we get a reason to play her music. Mia Moore, baby. Hey,
Thanks for having me. I gotta go. I'll be back. I'll see y'all later. Thank you.
Angie Martinez.
You're foul because every time I'm away or if I'm out of town or since my birthday or something, you wait and you wait till I'm not here. But I hear you.
You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you when you do it.
Well, congratulations on the new show.
Thank you, man. Hey.
Untold Stories of Hip-Hop. Now, tell us about this show.
It is Thursday night. Airs Thursday night. It'll be on every Thursday night, 10 p.m. right after Growing Up Hip-Hop. So it's like Hip-Hop night, I guess, on WeTV. We do Growing Up, and then my show airs. First episode is Cardi and Snoop, and it's just really like the moments, the stories. People love a good hip hop story, and there's so many to tell it, and so it just it's a perfect little next evolution for the kid.
Did any of these stories involve you? Because I'm sure you were around for some of these.
It happens all the time. Yes, like the Snoop one is the first episode is we talk about. Him and Pac weren't friends because of what happened on my show. We did this interview, and we did the interview, and he said some things that Pac didn't like, and then Pac passed before he could clean it up. And so I always felt bad, and that was the first time we really got into the conversation about it. And he was amazing,
right?
And you think we know everything about Snoop, but we don't know everything about Snoop. He's one of the most fascinating people in hip hop.
Oh, absolutely.
Because he's seen it all, and been through it all. He's just. Just like a wealth of untold stories. You guys got untold stories?
What about
we were asking
you know a lot of secret stories.
Angie has a lot of stories.
I want to know Breakfast Club untold
Don't flip
stories.
this interviewer. All right.
Tell us an untold story.
I want to know because this is what I wanted to do today. Let me ask you. Let me do what I do on my show, which is find out untold stories about people. Let me do that with you guys. People don't know.
Just any untold story?
Yeah, you didn't you work with Wu-Tang?
Yes.
You were at Shady, so you have like a Wu-Tang story?
Yeah, actually, it's crazy. I did work with Wu-Tang. That was my first job out of college. I also worked for D'Angelo.
Did they ever do anything or say anything that you'll never forget?
I think there was a lot of things because you got to think I worked for them in their office, so they were there a lot. So they would come in there, and I remember they would smoke so much weed. We were on the 9th floor.
Snoop smoked weed the whole episode, by the way.
Of
Episode
course.
1, you might not see it in the camera, but if you see, I'm definitely high by the end of the episode.
Okay.
It definitely happens. Sorry.
But we were on the 9th floor, and you could smell the weed from the first floor, like in the lobby, as soon as you walked in the building. But there's a lot of things that went on. Some things I probably should never repeat.
That's what we want to know. Those are the things we want to know. Those are the best ones.
You worked with ODB. I know you got some good ones.
ODB has some great stories. I remember one time we were going to a meeting, and it was hard to get him to do anything, like to see if he would even show up. He would call me in the office all the time and ask for money. He would be like, I need some petty cash.
Did you ever give him money?
We didn't have petty cash in the office. And he'll be like, I know you have petty cash. I don't even know where he got the term petty cash from. I'm like, I promise you there's no petty cash in here. And I remember one time he was like, I need to go to the hospital. I broke my jaw. Someone broke my jaw. I have to go to the hospital now, and I need some cash. And it was always a big thing with Divine, who was the RZA's brother, who ran the office, and RZA as our two bosses. So RZA would be like, just give him a check and sign my name. Divine would be like, no, don't give him a check. And I never knew
what to do.
Yeah, which way I should go. But there was a lot of things.
That's pretty good.
That's a good story.
That's a good one. Angie, you probably... No, I didn't know that. You got to have some great ones, too, though, because you like hip-hop confidant. A lot of things you had to keep under the vest.
Yeah, I had to keep a lot of things under the vest.
Are these people talking now because of the show? Are they coming on the show talking, telling these stories that you probably always wanted to say?
Well, it's not so much about me. It's about the artist. I mean, sometimes it comes and they overlap, but that happens often because I know, like I said, because I don't know these people for so long. But it's really about the artist and what they have going on in their lives. But yeah, you have to tell me. You have to pick a topic because I could do a story.
Like the Locks. Did they do it? And
they did do it.
And you had a really great story that involves you with the Locks.
Was that the one they was going to throw the TV?
A refrigerator.
The refrigerator on Puff?
They were going to throw a refrigerator on Puff. The crazy thing is, yes, this is a true story. The crazy thing is that me and Puff were not in a good place at that time, right? So I think he took extra offense to the whole moment because number one, the Locks was like, free the Locks. They wanted to get out of their contract. Also, they were trying to get their publishing back. So they were on there, free the Locks. And I was like, sure, come up to the show. So Puff is listening. I mean, the whole city was listening. They were like,
shit, I heard that in South Carolina.
Yeah, because honestly, and they had valid complaints, but we were all learning the game still. Hip hop hadn't evolved to where it is now. So even Puff, in his defense, he probably got checked in that moment. And I bet you that it affected him in terms of how he would do business with people moving forward because, they were young. It was this family. And then they felt like, yo, but you're going to have our publishing forever? Like, this is not right what's happening.
It made him
But then also Puff's argument was like, you should read your contracts. You should be businessmen. You're in a business now. So that we had all that conversation. I mean, this is the friendly version. It was not friendly.
That was not friendly at all.
In the moment, the Locks was on fire.
That was you should animate that. For Untold Stories of Hip-Hop.
Hell yeah. I was listening to that. When I was working with Jermaine Dupri, we used to work at Virgin Records, and I was working with Jermaine Dupri. We were listening in his radio.
Yeah.
Did he call? Because I know he was like, I'm going to call and try to sign
That's what happened. So they're up there. The whole city's listening.
I told Jay to do. I said, let's sign him.
They're like, let us up there. You're going to come out of your office, we're going to throw a refrigerator on your head.
A double door joint, steel joint, off a 5-story building.
Yeah, no, it was... Everybody always remembers that moment. It was so funny. Yeah. But yeah, then...
it was another good part, too. And he was like, Diddy was like, come to the office. We come down to the office. The whole precinct is there. That was good, too.
Because Puff was like, why don't you talk to me? I guess they had tried and tried and tried. And then he called in. And so then they're arguing, screaming on the radio. And then the crazy thing is that Puff wanted to come on my show the next day. And we had already gone through terrible things happening in the culture, so I was always like
apprehensive.
I was apprehensive because I always was like, when the fire is lit, like let's just look around and let's just take a breath before we just keep going with this. So I just was like, let's just give it a day, or 2 days. Let's just and then he got mad because he was like, how you gonna not have me on?
I remember he came after the follow-up interview.
So
he bought the contract.
He would not let it go. He wanted to come the next day, and I said, all right, fine, come the next day. And he did. He came with paperwork and contracts, and this is what it is, and they need to know their business. And I think that was a lesson for a lot of artists too. Right. Like, learn what you're signing. Don't just sign something, even if you don't get happy and sign. So I think for both of them, there were lessons in that. And for any kind of young, aspiring young artists. And to me, it's dope that the evolution of that is like that they're cool now and like.
Yeah. You know what else I love that you used to do, Angie?
What?
Battle of the Beats.
I love Battle of the Beats.
And I'm sure you had some great stories. I remember Dead Presidents was on Battle of the Beats.
Yeah.
That was the first like Jay-Z song that was, got as big.
Yeah, right. And I was like, who's Jay-Z? Why is there so many calls of this? And then him and Damon showed up with a bottle of champagne after. But then they admitted that they fixed the phone calls.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, that they had people sitting they paid people to sit in the office and call all day.
I mean, you have to retire that song or something because it won so many times, right?
Yeah, it was so crazy because we were young and you start this feature, you're like, Battle of the Beats, just because I want to know what people like. And then it becomes a thing. And then it becomes political. Then all of a sudden, the labels feeling away, artists are feeling away. I remember Leor called me because it was LL Cool J versus Cannabis.
Ooh,
I remember that.
I remember that one.
And I remember Leor called me. I didn't even know you, Leor. Like, I know you, but we're not cool. Right. I don't know you. You don't call me. And he called me and he was so like, when somebody, you could feel their like anxiety. Like he has and I just was like, over the Battle of the Beats? But he had like,
it was a big deal.
And I think he had just done something that I didn't like. I don't remember what it was, but I remember saying to him, like, I don't even know you. Like I don't even, because he's like, because we're friends or something. And I was like, I don't even, and I remember saying something like, we're not really friends like that. I don't really know you. And then he gave me this whole story about people make up all the time. People become, they have fights. And like, but I'm saying he put this much effort into like smoothing me out because he was so worried that LL was going to lose to Cannabis.
You could do a whole season of Untold Stories of Hip-Hop by yourself.
Yes.
You want to host it? You got to host it. You would have to host it.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Oh, what about Wu-Tang at Summer Jam?
Yes.
Wu-Tang and Bad Boy at Summer Jam.
So Wu-Tang was mad at the station. Then they came out. And the crazy thing is I was cool with them. Like, me and Ray
that was
Ray
the first day
Ghost,
I started working at Wu-Tang was Summer Jam. I came with them.
And so you were there when it happened.
There, yeah.
So I thought we was cool. Like, you friends with certain artists, you cool. Like, we knew each other. We be out. And then all of a sudden, I'm in backstage at the concert. And I hear somebody go, oh, they just dissed you on stage. I'm like, No, that's not. That's crazy. That's not true. There's no way that's possible. Those are my people. I've been supporting Wu-Tang from day one. Like, what? This is not possible. It's just not possible. And but they were mad at the station, and I guess Ghost had said something like, we gonna be around a lot longer than any old Angie Martinez or Wendy Williams. He threw Wendy in it too.
Oh, that's not true. Same thing.
But I remember in that moment thinking, I remember thinking two things. This is not about me.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt a little hurt, like a little stung for a second. Like, damn, that was my guy. Why would he do that? Okay, but it's not about me. I remember feeling like that, but I also remember feeling like, oh, I'm gonna be around. I do remember that though. I remember like sitting back there by myself, like, oh yes, I am.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I just remember that was my first day, and I didn't know that was gonna happen.
That's why you got to be careful what you say to people, because your intention might be to take somebody down
and then make them go harder.
and all you do is make somebody go harder.
Right.
So be careful.
like,
People don't know that
Angie
you
Martinez,
got me
fuck
my
Wendy.
first start as a personality.
Shut up. Is that true?
Yes.
You know, Nori just told me the same story recently, but let me hear
Martinez
yours.
Well, Tracy was the program director, and I wanted to learn radio. So I would stay around Tracy all day, and Tracy was the type of boss, she'd scream at you, curse at you, yell at you, tell you all types of stuff.
Yeah.
And I was always at the station trying to learn. And the best thing in my career happened. You got pregnant. And when you got pregnant, you took maternity leave, and they had nobody to fill in. So they put me in that position.
I thought Sonny did it.
I did it first. And what happened was my first interview the day that you went out with the Roots. And I had to interview the Roots, and I never interviewed anybody
And
in
they
my
were
life.
so disappointed
And it
when
was
you weren't
Well,
there.
first of all, they were so disappointed that you weren't there.
Explain to the people what the roots are.
Shut the hell up. It was that bad. I knew nothing about the Roots, nothing. And after that interview, it was so dry. Tracy was like, "You're never going to do this position again. We're going to bring Sonny here, and you'll fill in for Sonny." But that was my first shot at radio.
Listen, everybody's life
Do you
turned
know
out
Sonny?
good though. I love Sonny.
Sonny's great, but we had a little funny, awkward moment when I came back from maternity leave. So what happened was, when I went to maternity leave, I wasn't on maternity leave. Like, my contract had ended, and I just kind of was like, I'm not sure what I want to do.
That's what they said. It was like, Angie might not come back.
And I might not come back. I remember, like, being home and just had the baby, and I was like, I'm going to see. I don't know what. I just was in that, I've been on so long. I just was like, I don't know to assess everything, and then...
I didn't want you to come back, by the way. I was doing middays. I was happy.
By the way,
she's coming back. What do you mean?
You didn't want me to come back. Sonny
Sonny
didn't
didn't
want
want
me to come back. I could run down a list of about 17 people
coming back.
that did not want me to come back.
Why?
And I say, be careful what you put out there. All that does make me want to come back.
I'm coming back
I'm coming back
with a vengeance.
with a vengeance. And then I came back, and I came back early.
I remember.
So I came back, and I showed up, and Sonny's on the air. She's doing my show, filling in for me. She's got a guest in there. God, I wish I could remember who the guest was. But I walked in, and the guest was like, Angie! But she didn't acknowledge, and she kept going with the interview. And so I'm standing. Imagine it's the Breakfast Club in the morning.
Yeah.
You've been gone for a month, and you're standing at the door and watching somebody else interview somebody in the room. And they don't even, like, pull you in.
Right,
Like,
right.
she's continuing the interview. And I'm standing there, like, watching her do my show. And I was like, oh, I'm back. Oh, I'm coming back. This is, not to say nothing bad about Sonny, but she also had drive. She was like in her moment, in her time. But she definitely didn't want me to come back.
I mean, you can tell by what she's doing now. Sonny got the cookbooks and the cooking
by the way,
shows.
and let me tell you about Sonny. She started at the station when it was like it was all OGs up there.
Yep.
We was already we were like a hard crew to get past. Like, if you were the new kid, it was not easy for you.
Very difficult.
Sonny came in, she was new. Same thing. It's gonna be hard for you. We don't know you. We don't trust you. We don't like you.
Starbuck, Dennis.
It's not that we don't like you, but it's like,
Flex,
it's like you have to
Fat Man
work.
Scoop.
You have to work for yours.
That's right.
Nobody's handing you nothing. Like, what do you got? Then 9/11 happened, and Sonny was the only one at the station when 9/11 happened. She wanted to be on the air all day because nobody could get there.
Right.
And she was so great on the air that I just was like, that was the day I turned around. I was like, all right. I had to I had to give it to her, like,
Right.
you're special, like, you got something. And so I didn't know what her career would be, but I knew that she would do well in life.
So she never used to cook when she was up there? She never would bring
She
dishes?
did,
All the
she
time.
did.
All
She
the
used to
time.
make
Say.
this spicy macaroni and cheese. It was like way too
All the
spicy
time.
for me. But then I would eat it. My face would be on fire. She cooked all the time.
All the time she cooked, yeah.
Nah, she's good people, and she worked hard to have what she had. But she definitely didn't want me to come back, though.
You need to have her on Untold Stories of Hip-Hop. She probably got some good ones.
Oh, she got some
think so?
stories.
Yes.
Sonny
Yeah.
got some stories.
Well, who else is on the show?
Oh, that's my show, right? My show, which, by the way, it airs Thursday nights, 10 p.m. on
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
WeTV.
talk about it. Starts
Please,
with
we're here to
Cardi-
promote, guys. Stay
Cardi B
focused.
and Snoop on the first
Cardi B
episode.
and Snoop. We got ASAP Rocky, Khaled, Fat Joe, Queen Latifah.
Fat Joe tells a story.
Of course. One of the best
Let me
storytellers
tell you,
in
your
hip-hop.
interview with him was great, and I was watching it, and I was
99!
and I was thinking, Joe, please don't tell them the same stories that you told me. And he
Right.
didn't. That's
Okay.
that's how
good.
you know he
He
got
has a
so
lot.
many.
He's
He's
got a
got
million of
so
them.
many
Yes.
of them. But we I don't know, he gets into like a dark time in his life and something really tough that he was going through, and we kind of went into that, which was a different conversation than him and I normally have. It was a little different. And then also he really breaks down the Rucker and Jay and
The record, yeah.
what was happening that day and all of that.
Great
Some
story.
Great story.
It's a great story.
Yeah, it was a good story. And it's nice to be able to tell it. You know, we do our interviews and it's like it just airs. It's nice to be able to tell it with some footage and some, just some.
I'm excited. This is going to be
me too.
great.
Thank you guys. You have to be on next season. They did a little quick. We got a little cameo, a little appearance from these two. I don't know where you were. He's doing car shows or something, selling houses.
Probably. Maybe do my Nas. Well, y'all know my Nas story when Nas pulled the gun out on me.
Nas
didn't
hates
know
for you to
that.
tell. He does
Yeah.
not want you telling that
Nas
story
hates when
anymore,
I
he
tell that
said.
story. Yeah, Nas pulled out a gun on me.
Were you in fear for your life?
Yes, I was. I was trying to give him a mixtape, and I was like, I got
Don't
something
tell
for
it
you.
now if
Okay,
you're
I
going to give
won't
it to
tell him.
Angie.
Save it for season
He's
2.
told it so many times.
know.
You have
Season
told it a
2.
million
I know
times.
you got. I know you probably got fab stories. You
Fab.
got 50 stories. You got.
A million of them. All
I
right.
can't wait.
All right. Well, thank you for
Season
joining
2,
us.
DJ
Season 2.
Envy on Untold Stories. In the meantime, we premiere Thursday night, 10 p.m. WeTV.
Angie Ma.
Angie
Love you guys. Thank you so
Martinez.
much.
Untold Stories of Hip-Hop.
It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.